And they said some shitcoin has us under an exclusive agreement where we can't actually partner with you for a few more years.
We had digital currency underpin trade finance and money settlement systems, and using as a medium of exchange, using things like Ripple's XRP, for example.
The SEC staff does not want to be commenting on every, XRP leveraged product, right?
Virtually most of the money moving around the world, most of the dollars moving around the world will be moving on tokenized digital networks.
And they try to shake me out, but I was born ready. Dropping down the price, then I'll be getting plenty. They want all your bags, and they want all them empty.
What's up, good glitches? Welcome back to some more Moon O'Clock News. No breakfast, no coffee. Shout out to the latest sub. We got XRP currently right around $2.80, $2.81. We got high vibe assets to pop off. So many XRP ETFs to be filed. This is insane. XRP has purposefully been held under the water. Soon will shoot like a rocket. Can't hold it down any longer.
So in the early days, every ETF needed SEC approval. So you can imagine that was a lot of back and forth, and that's been more standardized. And that's why they're talking about doing a rule for crypto ETPs now as well, because the SEC staff does not want to be commenting on every, XRP leveraged product, right? So, I would say the SEC, it's interesting how the SEC's role is kind of diminished, I would say, because if you look at stablecoin legislation, a lot of it's going to the OCC, right? They're not checking they're not doing the audits. And then if this sort of market structure bill passes, a lot of the authority is going to go to the CFTC, right? So it's in a way, I think institutionally, this is a whole separate podcast, but they were sort of so aggressive or incompetent or whatever word you want to use during the last 5-year stretch that the Capitol Hill has said no. Stay in your lane, SEC.
We got XLR networks connected to 80 plus blockchains via XLR. XRP liquidity now flows into DeFi stablecoins and RWAs. Staking official for years, XRP was the best known for payments. Now it's plugged into 80 plus blockchains via XLR. On June 30th, XRP Ledger EVM sidechain launch, opening XRP to DeFi. XAF crypto absolutely wild. The entire stock market is moving on to the XRP Ledger and it's happening fast. XRP at 35,000 is becoming more realistic every single day, especially with decentralized media and industry worth trillions now integrated.
I predict to you now, within 5 years, virtually most of the money moving around the world, most of the dollars moving around the world will be moving on tokenized digital networks. And within 10 years, I predict to you that there won't be a securities offering, a debt offering, an equities offering of any significance that's not tokenized on chain. And those securities offerings that remain in an analog state will be like those bearer bonds in DTC's vault, the coupon clipping bonds that don't matter anymore. Non-tokenized, non-digitized securities will be like those old dusty photo albums, and securities on chain will be like the digital photos on your smartphone.
BetXO, fresh data on the XRP Ledger electricity consumption and carbon emissions. Whole network has a carbon footprint of 1 transaction flight with a Boeing 747. 1 XRPL transaction consumes electricity equal to running a LED light for 1 millisecond. Zomin wallet, Zomin 4.2.1 removes the XRP Ledger's biggest hurdle, the need for trust lines. Send tokens without trust lines, utilizing checks. Receipt accepts the token when ready. No more friction. This is a fundamental leap forward for tokens on the XRP Ledger. Sending tokens without a trust line. Send a check. The recipient will see a cash check button when they are ready to accept, automatically setting up the trust line for the end user. Sending tokens as checks will have a 0.02 reserve fee that the XRP Ledger charges for this payment. That 0.2 XRP reserve is freed on the sender account if the receiver accepts the check, the offer is canceled, or if the receiver declines the check. XRP continuously being upgraded. Another one from high vibe assets, Ripple BIS. Settled from the beginning, XRP settles all cross-border transactions over the BIS, single-handed and taking over the industry.
Like Switzerland and China all testing out the digital currencies. How are you gearing up for the disruption of money with central bank digital currencies? How will it change the way you and other banks operate in future?
Probably fundamentally. While we're not formally involved, no foreign banks are involved in the Chinese ECNY. I think we're as close to that as we can be to understand how that digital currency can be used for cross-border trade. Going back 5 years, we had digital currency underpin trade finance and money settlement systems, and using as a medium of exchange, using things like Ripple's XRP, for example, as a medium to affect real-time cross-border payments.
Smoked all Ripple, Finestra, Thunes. All roads lead to the bridge. Mr. Man XRP, the Finestra, Ripple, and Thunes collaboration finds its way into 125 plus countries. Ripple, Finestra, and Thunes bring scalable cross-border payment rails that rival and bypass SWIFT. And Thunes and Ripple expand global partnership to transform cross-border payments. Thunes, a smart superhighway to move money around the world, and Ripple, the leading provider of digital asset infrastructure for financial institutions, have announced an expanded partnership to transform cross-border payments globally. Building on their successful collaboration established in 2020, the partnership will improve the customer payout experience, further streamline global money movement, and broaden payment reach across key markets. Big moves behind the scenes. XIF Cardano founder reveals that they're strengthening their relationship with Ripple. XRP sat down with Big Brad Garnerhouse as Salt and even joined a Federal Reserve roundtable.
That up for new user acquisition, and we're strengthening our relationships with XRP. I was just with Brad Garlinghouse at SALT. We served on a panel together when we were roundtable when we were talking with the Federal Reserve together. There's a lot there, and there's good days that come, and we're working our asses off to try to keep up with it. It's getting harder because the competition is getting harder, and it's frustrating to me because obvious things to do, like integrations with other ecosystems, the absence of those integrations mean we get left behind. Like the Department of Commerce pushing economic data, they weren't picking blockchains because they really love one blockchain over the other. They were using Chainlink and Pith. If you don't support that technology, you can't push on.
Build on Stellar. Xbit.ai leverages multi-LLM AI agents on Stellar to autonomously perform tasks like trading and entity auctions, using feedback loops and selection pressure to evolve its intelligence on-chain. So check out this Stellar Hacks experiment.
So let's get started. XBit.ai is an AI agent. It currently trades on Stellar, and it can do it all. Delta neutral strategies, yield farming, leverage loops, hedging with AMM as well, rebalancing collaterals. There is virtually nothing that it cannot do. And you can check the terminal at xbit.ai to see it in action. It currently test runs on mainnet. So the way I like to describe it, XBit.ai is an open experiment built on the premise that with real stake and a memory of outcomes, selection pressure shapes behavior. And I invite you to read the blog to understand better this core concept. So the code is open source, available on GitHub as well. But what we are going to talk about today is XBit.ai flexible plugin system for data ingestion. In this first video, we'll walk through the reflector adapter. You'll see how to use reflector oracles on Stellar.
Yeah, I think he just called XLM a shitcoin. Welcome to the party, Stellar.org, but Tether is completely legit. No shitcoin here. The lesson: the only legitimate tokens are either created by Santa Claus or created and designed to prop up the Bitcoin price.
I'll tell you guys this. I was going to have a partnership with MoneyGram. Strike was going to have a partnership with MoneyGram for cross-border payments for like really exciting stuff. And they said some shitcoin has us under an exclusive agreement where we can't actually partner with you for a few more years. So there are shitcoins that print tokens in their basement, pay Justin Bieber to tell everyone they're awesome, sell those shitcoins to retailers that are unassuming, and then take those dollars and spend them on private deals, marketing, and partnerships. Crazy. So I think this stuff's just gonna take time, but I think it's awesome that Tether, they're Bitcoiners. These are my co-founders, guys. Like, I know them well. These guys are Bitcoiners. And for that, I think as a Bitcoiner, I'm very grateful that the most successful company in the world right now is run by Bitcoiners. And they're technologists. I think it's great. I think it's gonna take time. I don't think it matters that much today, but we'll see. The free market will elect it. Like, I think
the free market wants utility. Crypto bullet, others versus ETH, calm before the storm. I believe others is going to explode to the upside after this 7-week consolidation below the 0.5 fib. Just like ETH did in July, it was stuck below the 0.5 fib for the same 7 weeks. We got XRP Crypto, XRP versus BTC. Tell me what you see. The next 1-2 pop loading. And we got Mustache altcoins. It's not a question of if, but when altcoins will really take off. We've had to be patient in this cycle so far, but the most exciting time is about to begin. ETH has already taken the first step. The longer they take, the higher we keep climbing on that XRP rich list. Top 10% holder, 2,384 XRP. Where will those bags be when that regulation jar of molasses finally breaks open and XRP's true price is finally revealed?
Big bags.
Catch you up here on the mothership. BYOB, bring your own bags, be your own bank, be your own boss. And don't forget to drop an elbow from the top ropes on that likey button. We'll see you at the tippy top. Later, glitches.
Later, glitches.
Can you take me with you when we blow up? Can you take me with you when we blow up? When we